Supreme Court said that we are entitled to all findings and facts. You may not want to use that until after, though, your response to their answer. Remember, you're going to file the complaint, they're going to file an answer, then you do a response, and you want to do a counterclaim. And then after that counterclaim, you want to put that court case down there, saying that you are entitled to all the findings and conclusions on all the issues of fact, law, and any discretionary matters that may come up. Yeah.
Chuck, let's say 10 years ago the IRS, let's just give an example, they slandered, they took your car away from you and they emptied your bank account. You committed fraud, you're going to go after them for fraud right now.
Right.
Can you, the statute of limitations obviously is up on the other stuff, but because they committed fraud, can you pile that stuff on the back end?
Well, yeah,
fraud.
Sure. There's no statute of limitations on fraud.
Right, but now you're going to get them for fraud, which is damages in inside itself, but now you're going to go after your car, your wages, or whatever they took from you 10 years ago. Can you do that?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But if they got a court judgment to take those things away from you, then you want to vacate the court judgment first. Yes, okay. First. Did they get a court judgment?
Oh, I'm just giving an example. It didn't happen.
Okay. So, but if they got a court judgment 10 years ago, they took your car, your house, then you go back and vacate the court judgment. Now, another thing about vacates, you can file a vacate in the original court of the ruling, or you can attack it collaterally in other courts. So you go to another district court. Supposing the judge is retired now. So you want to go to another court and file a collateral attack, is what they call it. So you not only can void a judgment directly, but you can also do it various ways. You can do a tort action, asking for damages, emotional, all that. You could actually sue the judge because he's acted outside of his jurisdiction for doing what he did. He's no longer immune if he acts outside of his jurisdiction, or if he acts in his personal capacity. It's just like these judges here. They're acting in their personal capacity now. They're not acting as judges when they repudiate their oaths of office to treat every litigant fairly and equally. So now that we know this, we can hold these people responsible.
Don't the judges have bonds, so there's money?
Yes, that is another issue that we can do. I tried to find out the bonding company for the people in the state of Michigan, and it was very hard for me to find out. I finally contacted a company, and I got a lady, a secretary obviously, who was very cool on the phone, And then as soon as I said, well, I'm trying to prevent a lawsuit from coming your way. And she came absolutely unraveled at that point. She didn't know what to do. She said, well, no, we don't do anything. We don't do anything. We're not involved in anything. No, mine. So, I mean, you're going to have to understand that this is what happened. They're very cool until the point you call them down. So they violated a law, a court rule. Same way with the judge.
I don't understand what warrants a counterclaim.
Counterclaim, okay, say like, okay, they responded. Or say like, for instance, they made a counterclaim against you. You filed a complaint, right? Now they're filing their answer, and they're filing an additional counterclaim saying, but we're not only answering Mr. Conces' paragraphs here, but now we're saying that he has dirty hands for this reason or that reason, or he didn't file his taxes, or he had an assessment levied on him, or he had a judgment, court judgment against him, or he, supposing I did something wrong, they would use that as a counterclaim to say that I have dirty hands. And if they can sustain that. Now my answer to their counterclaim would be paragraph for paragraph, and I would either have to deny and say why I'm denying it, or say the defendant has not given me sufficient information on which I can make a judgment or a determination. Okay? If you say that that's the equivalent of a denial, if you admit that statement is going to be used against you, and the judge might dismiss your whole case against you.
So a counterclaim is like getting extra dirt.
Extra dirt. That's,
Okay.
yeah. If you got dirty hands. But I tell you, the IRS is the only guys that's got dirty hands in this operation.
Have you ever been able to locate a bond?
A bond?
Yeah.
No. I'm telling you, I'm really new to that approach, but it's a good approach.
Can I give you my opinion? And I had a notary tell me how to do it.
Okay.
We go through an insurance company.
Okay.
And then the insurance company does a private contract with a bonding company, so that the stipulation can't be, what's the word? You can't tell anybody what's going on between the private and the private contract. So they don't have to divulge where the bond goes to, or who holds the bond to them. It's a private contract, so nobody divulges anything.
Okay. So, well, how's that going to get us to where we want to go?
I know, you can't, how can you break that?
Whoa.
How can you go to that?
Well, I'll tell you what, in discovery you can break it.
Plus, that bonding's supposed to be protection.
Yeah.
And, you know, they're bonded for what? In case there's a judgment or something comes up. So.
Because the bonding company has to pay that.
Yeah.
But it's a private contract, so they don't divulge any information of where it came from.
Okay, and I think you're probably right at that point. However, what happens when you file the lawsuit, then you have discovery. You can ask in your discovery, who is your bonding company?
And again, it's a private contract.
No, but in discovery, they have to divulge. Discovery is not a, if I want to answer the question. That's not the case. They have to answer the question.
Bond is required by law. Right.
That's right.
Nobody's ever been able to pull a bond where it's come from. I've never
Okay,
seen
but I'm
anybody
telling
break
you, you would have to file a complaint in that case and then bring up the bonding issue.
Well, I'm convinced that's the secret of this. If we ever find out who's bonding these guys.
That's not the whole secret.
Well,
No, the real secret is the corruption of the courts. And agents that think that they can get away with anything.
If you can take their bonds, they can't do this anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you, but you're going to have to find that out during discovery. Okay, let's call it a day, and tomorrow we got another grueling day. At least it's grueling for me. I hope you guys didn't fall asleep. Bill?
Yeah.
Bill?
Yeah.